are here today to amplify the voices of our Black peers, to make them feel heard, to make their messages be heard.
Because of our voices, there is a slow drip, a slight trickle down on the effective change. Just the other day, Breonna's Law was passed in Louisville, Kentucky, which will now put an end to the no-knock warrants. Because of our voices, our Ahmaud Arbery's attackers were arrested. Because of our voices, streets in our nation's capital are being renamed, and cities across our nation are hiring painters to install permanent reminders that Black lives do matter.
It could have been me. For I'm reminded every day, every single day of my life, how little white people think of me.
So they label me militant and Black, national, radical, trying to put my learning process on sabbatical. But I don't apologize, I spit truth into the whites of eyes infected by white lies. From the media to academia, hanging us like coats. That's why in day schools, I always take 2 sets of notes. One set to ace the test, and one set I call the truth. And when I find historical contradictions, I use the first set as proof.
The pain is unbearable, with my face pushed up upon the concrete, and my hands bound behind my back, with your knee in my neck, trying to kill another brother, for what? For the color of my skin, for my so-called thuggish demeanor, for the curl of my hair, because you believe me to be a sinner? Please, officer, I can't breathe. Mama, they're killing me. I can't breathe. Only the real really feel for me. I can't breathe. While those bullets burrow deeper and those fists hit harder, while the weight gets heavier and the rope gets tighter. With each passing moment, my moment of passing grows closer. Black lives must matter if all lives are to matter. Repent for your sins of your people or move out of our way, for our voices will not be silenced.
Challenge for our so-called allies. We see that you've actively been spreading awareness and having the necessary conversations to sever the ties of racism that you may have perpetuated in the past. Okay, great, but now what? Ask yourself if your virtual activism will translate into the hallways and classrooms of your very own school, your own community. When you see a Black student being punished for something that your white classmate easily had gotten away with, when will you use your voice, and your privilege to check that person in power? When you see racial slurs carved into the bathroom stalls, will you then bring it to the attention of an administrator, or will you look away because it doesn't affect you? Meanwhile, the Black student who reads those words over and over again feels as if their humanity has been ripped away like a bandage.
I say, hey, ho, ho! You have to say racial justice has got to go! Okay? Hey, ho, ho! Racial justice has got to go!
Situations of injustice, you have chosen the side of the oppressor. Will these words said by Desmond Tutu still linger in your mind when there is a debate about a race-based issue and you choose to keep your head down and your eyes low because politics aren't your thing? I am absolutely tired of people hiding behind their privilege and pretending like these problems don't affect you. Wake up! Black people across the country have reached their limit. They have decided that they will no longer tolerate the blatant and intrinsic racism that our country is founded on. I am almost at my max, and I hope everyone here today is too. You should be fighting as if it was your own brothers and sisters that are being murdered over and over and over and over again.
Right now, we're going to have a moment of silence for 8 minutes and 46 seconds for, the death of George Floyd. I'd like to offer for y'all to kneel, fist up, however you feel comfortable in showing your support for Black people and what has gone on in this country.
Thank you all for that moment of silence.
I'm going to say something really quick because these guys here really need a round of applause because what they did today was amazing. Amazing. This whole thing was put together in about a week. We have these guys to thank. Check in with these guys and talk about, future endeavors.
It's not time to stop and celebrate yet, for we have a whole war against racism to fight for. It is still important to raise awareness on the issues and limitations that society puts on Black people.
We see it in our healthcare systems, in our schools. We have told you what we needed. Now let's do the work.
Signing petitions, going to protests, and donating money to organizations promoting Black Lives Matter are ways to continue your support. Our white allies need to use their privilege to speak up.
Keep on checking your friends, anyone you can check. Check everyone and anyone. Educate yourself, learn how to amplify the voices of your Black peers, your friends.
We need to make change in our community, and once we change in our community, we can expand, touch other towns, touch other states even, and just make the whole country just love one another.
I will never trip on if I had.
I just want to thank all y'all for coming out and showing your support. It's a big thing. It's huge. I love it. I love to see love, and there's a lot of love here that I feel and I can see, and it's beautiful.
Black children, look in the mirror. You are the reflection of divinity. Don't let them fool you with selective memory. Walk high, listen to the elders who spoke. Black students, brown students, all students. Take 2 sets of notes.